Make it on my own, but I don't wanna grow up. We can stay forever young. Living on my sofa, drinking rum and cola underneath the...
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today is not gonna be a vlog, it's more of a story time. And it's gonna be a very emotional story time, I guess. A lot of people go through it, and it's just surprising when you go through it because you don't realize you go through it when you're little. So when I was a little kid, I went to the temple a lot. So me, my parents, we would go to the Cambodian temple. Like, the temple is a sacred place. When you go there, it's like church. You go there and it's sacred. You feel safe there. You go there to pray for Buddha's sake. And my parents would just talk to the monks and whatnot. And it's crazy because that temple is well known amongst like Cambodians around where I'm from. And there was this guy that works with the monks, but he wasn't a monk. He wasn't the best guy around. When I was a kid, I would be running around. I would go running around with that guy, and my dad, come on, like, it's a temple. You should trust it because you go there with your problems and you go with, like, you're pouring your heart out. What he did wasn't okay. And all in all, the story is about molestation. It's crazy because when I look back into it when I was a kid, I didn't see it as that. Kind of was like a normal thing. And it's weird, I know, like, to say that it's a normal thing, but that's how I saw it. And it's crazy because I didn't have the courage to tell anyone when I was a kid. And the way he would do it was just pretty messed up. He would just go, like, when you're a kid, you want to see animals, you want to see insects, you want to see all these, like, weird stuff because you're amused by little things. So what he did was, he'd be like, oh, like, you want to go see my dogs? And it wasn't really his dog, it was like the neighbor's dogs, but it was like they were fenced up, and the fence was towards the temple. And we would go, and he would just, like, pull down my pants and, like, start touching me. And it was just, it's weird because I knew it was wrong, but it didn't, like, I was too scared to say anything at the same time. It was really complicated. And after, like, several times, it wasn't just one time, it was like several, like, a lot of times actually, because my parents, they're Buddhists, they love going to the temple. The other incident was they just got a printer scanner or something where, like, you close the thing and it scans. But they just got it, and he was like, you want to check out the scanner? And I'm like, okay, like, cool. He's like, oh, you could print your hands. And I was like, oh, that's cool, because, like, you see in the TV, like cartoons, they go print, like, they print their butt, they print their hands or whatever. So I put my hands on there, and then he had slammed the little cover for it. Next thing you know, like, my pants are down again. And at that point, like, I think that was, like, the last time he had done it, I guess, because I remember just, like, feeling like crap and walking, like, back to my dad, like, just, like, quiet, because I did not know what to say. Like, I just sat in the car, and he actually even gave me the printouts of my hands too. I sat in the car and I looked at them, and I was just like, oh, like, okay, like, what, like, do I tell my dad? What do I do? It's weird. And then soon enough, that was when I was it started off when I was young, like, before I even went to school, I guess. Not before, but maybe kindergarten, first grade. And then after a little bit after that, my brother had passed away when I was in 3rd grade. And traditional Cambodian ceremonies, like, the monks come to your house, and, like, the monks came to my house, that guy came to my house, and we had an old bed in the garage, and me and like someone else, we were kids running around, and he had came into my house. Like, this is where it gets all like messed up, because he's breaking the barrier. Like, he is in my house. He's in my house doing this, and your house is where you're supposed to feel safe. And like, I remember just being like, well, why is he here? Like, I don't want to be near him, but at the same time, I'm not gonna tell anyone, because it's just something you don't bring up. It's embarrassing, it's sad, but you're a kid and you don't know any better. So after all that, I don't know how, but he got me into the garage, and like he spanned like one of my friends or something, and like lifted her up and just like span her around, and like was as he was spinning her around and like throwing her on the bed, he was actually grabbing her breasts. And like, it's just crazy because it wasn't just me. Like, it's other people, it's other, like, not people, but other kids like going through the same thing. And then when I was just looking, and I was like, no, like, this is weird. Like, it's just weird. It's not right. And just because you come from a temple and like you're supposed to be sacred and you're supposed to, you know, like have no sins, you're here sinning because no one would have known. I think like it's not cousin, but a few years passed by, and I think I was already I think middle school or high school, and then I guess they were just Cambodians. Like, I'm sorry, you guys all gossip, and it's true. So there's times where you sit down and you're just like, oh, do you guys remember that molester from, you know, that temple and blah blah blah. And I'm just sitting here like, so people knew, like, people know it's different. Like, people know about this, and it's just embarrassing to the fact where it's like, well, shit, like, they are talking about it, but they have not been molested by this guy. And I'm sitting here listening to their conversation, just like, yeah, I remember him, yeah, da da da, but not telling them that I was one of the victims, which is embarrassing, because you're just thinking back at it like, dude, how can I, because they're jokingly around saying this, like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, and I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, I really do know him and he molested me. It's something you won't say young and you're in front of your peers. Like, who needs that criticism? Who needs like, oh, that girl got molested, oh, that girl got da da da. Like, no, you don't need that from people, especially the other stuff I was going through at the time. It just wasn't needed. My parents never, I don't know why, but they stopped going to that temple. They went to another temple, but I said stop by. I didn't expect him to be there anymore, because I thought there was rumors around like he got locked up, he went to jail or some shit because something had happened. And then I had went there for New Year's, and I saw him, and in all these years, my heart was just like, whoa, like, he's still here, he's still like here. But at the same time, like, it's weird because everyone knew about it, everyone knew what he's done, and apparently he was forgiven or something, or I don't know what had happened, but this guy is still there. And I just looked, and I was like sort of tearing up, and I was like, you know what, I don't need this right now. And I took off because I was like, I'm not gonna see him. Like, he wasn't the only one that did that to me. I had family friends from a long time ago, super long time ago, and I have pictures of when I was a baby, like, didn't even know how to walk, and they're in those pictures with me. And they're not really family members, they're family friends. It's just when you're Cambodian, everyone's family. Was it my brother got with one of them, became like fiance or whatever, and they ended up living with us for a little bit. And she had brought her brother, and let's just say her brother wasn't a good guy as well. And it's crazy because I was, yet again, pretty young. I think I was probably first grade, kindergarten still, and like during the same time. And after a lot of things, it was just kind of like I saw him as a cool guy. Like, I always saw him as a cool guy. Like he had nice shoes, always. Like, he was way older than me. Like, of course, I was in elementary, first grade, and he was like in high school. After all that, he went and lived with us, and it was cool. Like I said, I thought I always wanted to be near him for some reason. It was just weird. And then she had school, and that guy was like, yeah, she's upstairs, she's sleeping, like she's sleeping. And like when my dad left, he was like, all right. And my mom's already sleeping upstairs, everyone's like quiet, everyone's like sleeping or whatever. And he gets me out of the rug, and like he ends up bringing me, because my other brother that passed away, he had an actual medical bed because he was handicapped. I think I was young, so I think he had cerebral palsy, a really bad like case of it, on it, because he was sleeping with my mom. And he raises that medical bed, pushes me in there, and like starts touching me. And it was just like, whoa, like what the hell, like it's weird. Like I'm confused, I'm lost, I just don't know. And at this point it's like normal, because you know, the guy that did it prior to me, I was wearing like a Cambodian like nightgown, I guess, or like, you guys know, like a sarong. So like I went like this or something, like I had touched my sarong and I felt something wet, and I was like, what? Like, you're a kid, you don't know what, you know, when a guy does their thing, like you don't know that they do that, you just know that they go and pee and stuff. And I was like, is this pee? Like I don't know what the hell this is. Did I pee? Like what? I don't, like, I'm confused. You don't learn sex ed, you don't learn any of these things. And whether like or not, it's just embarrassing. That wasn't the only time from him either, because he lived with us. He did it several times, because he knew damn well I wasn't gonna say anything, because what could have I said? Like a first grader just like, hey mom, hey dad, so and so touched me. He had, like I said, like most molesters are the same. They will pull you in, put like some type of interest, like they know it's gonna pull you in. And like one of the other incidents was crazy, because I was obsessed with Lion King. I loved Lion King from the bottom of my heart and all this stuff. And I was acting it out. I was singing, like, what was that? It was like the scene where the two lions were like loving each other or whatever, and I was singing, and I was on my bed and I was like running around, I was singing, and he opens my door and he was like, oh, I could sing with you. And I was like, okay, like weird, but okay. And like he starts like jumping on the bed singing with me. But there's a part in the movie where I think the girl lion gets on top of the guy lion, which what he did, and therefore he did his business again. It's crazy. It's really crazy, because you're a kid and you don't know. You think you just don't know. And I sort of came out and told my sister years after, and she was like in disbelief. Like till this day, my brother still does not know. I believe it's just my sister that knows, and my really close friends. So me coming out with this is crazy, but then again, you feel like it's balled up, you feel alone, you feel like it's all right to hide it. It's not all right. It's something you need to reach out for. It's something you need to tell people, because then again, that's what affected you. Like it's what made you, like, maybe like if it happened to you, it made you more quiet, it made you more reserved, because you just don't know what to do. So you grow up and you realize, holy crap, that happened to me. You realize, like, holy crap, if I tell anyone, what are they gonna think of me? Let a hoe? Like, that's honestly, that was going through my mind. And it's embarrassing. Think about it, you're a high schooler and you try to be open about it, everyone's not gonna view you the same. And on top of that, you don't want that sympathy where it's like, oh yeah, well, she got molested, it's okay, like, just be nice to her, well, no, like, it made you who you are. It's different. I think that's the end of my story, and I hope you guys enjoy, because it took a lot out of me to actually do this, even say it out here for you guys, because like I said, it took me years to tell my sister. Like, back, I live in SoCal now, but a lot of my friends in NorCal, actually more, like almost all of my friends in NorCal don't even know this about me. I'm opening up now because due to like my friends in SoCal, they're awesome. Like, I trust them with it, and you know, it's different. I'm growing up and I'm realizing like it's not something to be quiet about. It's something to actually say and like reach out to people about it, because in the end, like, you feel like crap. You feel like violated. You feel super violated. Other than that, like I said, that's the end of my story. And if you guys like my stories, just subscribe. Okay.